Greetings, YouTube. My wife and I got a chance to see the film Beautiful Creatures recently. Now, when this had been released, it didn't seem to do well, so I kind of stayed away from it. I saw the trailer and I'm like, yeah, coming of age, magical casters, werewolf vampire vibe kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, it didn't look all that interesting. It didn't have any hook that drew me in. But I got a cheap copy, so I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a go. And I was pleasantly surprised. First of all, it was set in the South, and the people sounded actually like Southern people. That was quite pleasant. I don't know if they got a speech coach, an accent coach, but they actually came across as appearing to my ear and my eye as reasonably Southern. There were people that weren't white in this, also quite pleasant to see. Um, and the two main characters actually sort of looked like teenagers. One was 15 and one was 17. Or 17, 18, something like that. But they actually sort of looked like teenagers, which was awesome. Our main lead was a little awkward, like teenagers. He actually at one point was quoting Bukowski and screwed up. Interestingly, when he did that for the film, it was like 3 or 4 takes. He did it correctly in all the takes except the last one, and that's the one the director kept because she thought it was cute and it came across as a real thing that a teenager would do. And his female lead reacted as a fellow teenager would by laughing. So yes, very well done. Jeremy Irons is in this, and he did an excellent job. Viola Davis is in this, also did an excellent job. One of the actors from the Harry Potter universe, I don't remember her name. McGonagall, maybe she plays. I'm not sure. The one with the big glasses and the frizzy hair. She's in it, and she actually plays. Well, initially she just plays someone's mother, but she becomes possessed over the course of the film and plays the baddie. And she did an excellent job of portraying herself as being two different people. Really, it was remarkable in my eye to see the transition between her character when she was just an ordinary person and then the character when she was possessed by this other spirit. Very well done. Kudos, man. It was an awesome acting role, in my opinion. Now, one of the come on, cat, get off my keyboard. Sorry. Now, one of the things that did bother me about this is that the basic storyline role is centered around the fact that there are people in the world called casters. I don't know why they call them spellcasters, but they don't call them spellcasters. And it isn't a skill you can really learn easily. Again, one guy actually learns to do one thing in his entire time of being trained. No, it's something that you're born into. Okay, so you're gonna make them their magic fairies. That's fine. They get magic powers, whatever. You call them casters, call them casters. You're born into it, and as you get closer and closer to your 16th birthday, your powers begin to manifest themselves, and they differ from caster to caster. Not every caster is exactly the same, which is also cool. And at 16, essentially, you have to decide whether you're going to go to the light side or the dark side. Why, I do not know. I do have no clue why this is required. I did not read the novel. I don't know if there's more than one or not, but I don't. To my mind, it was never explained in the film why this had to be chosen. You go light side or dark side. Okay, but you have to at 16. Okay, that's a big burden to put on the shoulders of a 16-year-old, at least in American culture, in my opinion. And actually, I think that we put pressure on people at a young age far too often, even though in many cultures, and ours in the past, 16 was considered an adult. I still think that's too young to be placing these kinds of decisions on them. Which way, how are you going to spend the rest of your life? And are you going to help people, or are you going to be some selfish SOB that is dangerous to the world at large? That's a big decision to put on the shoulders of a 16-year-old. But here's what really bothers me. The male casters get to decide whether they're going to be light side or dark side. The female casters don't. It just happens. Some of them go good, some of them go bad. They actually give an example of one of the characters, and they show her in the past at 16 running away from home, afraid of what's going to happen. And she's this genuinely concerned, decent, moral, ethical person. And it strikes her, at midnight or whatever the heck it is, at age 16, and she goes from being an ethical, moral person to killing someone 60 seconds later. She didn't get a choice. It overcame her. That's some sexist bullshit. I don't know how the book handles it. I'm never going to read the book. I'm basing this purely on the film, and I was really disturbed by this. They completely eradicated moral agency for the female characters. Now, of course, our main female character, which this whole film is based around, she breaks the type. She gets to that moment and she doesn't choose light or dark. She chooses a middle path, which should have always been an option, which is what I think they're also doing in Star Wars. And it's a different topic. And in fact, it goes so far as that the bad people can like turn their eyes red because they're freaky evil people, and she actually has the ability to turn one eye, which I thought was a little heavy-handed, and it's like kind of gilding the lily there, Oh, look at the point. Let me drive it in with a sledgehammer. Okay, but the point is she got to take that middle path, didn't have to choose light or dark. Awesome. You get to have your own moral agency. But all the people before her didn't. And there are multiple women in this and a couple of them discuss the fact that they didn't get a choice. Viola Davis being one of them. She's some kind of seer. She contacts dead people. She takes care of a library of important information. And the film comments that Nancy Reagan scared the casters. I got no idea why. Nancy Reagan was not scary. Not scary at all. And I say that as someone that doesn't have vast magical powers. I lived through that era. Her husband's was scary because he had his thumb on that button. That was scary. But overall, I enjoyed Beautiful Creatures. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I'm a little confused why it didn't do better. It's way better than some films I've seen that have done quite successfully at the box office. Maybe it's just like the toss of the dice. Maybe it came out against something. I don't know. I don't know when it was released. I think it was 2013. Maybe it was just not its time, but I enjoyed seeing it. Other than the sexist bullshit about having no moral agency, the rest of the film was quite entertaining. The love relationship was sweet. It was a smidge problematic when the two main characters have sex, and one is 15 and one is almost 18 or 18, and that's probably illegal in many places in America. But it was completely consensual, so at least that had to go for. And even if it might have been violating the age of consent law in their state, I'm not sure. Maybe it's 14 where they are. I'm not positive, and that varies widely in America from 14 to 18, I think. But yeah, I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. I'm surprised it didn't do better. And if they had taken out those sexist things, I would have had a far more positive view of it.